Hi, my name's Stuart from MKN, and today we're initially looking at the Space Combi Magic Team. So as you can see, we have two independent chambers, both a full 6x11 GN capacity, two separate control panels. So if you look at the switches, they refer to where that is the bottom chamber and where the switches at the top is the top chamber. Yeah, as you can see, two control panels, tough and glass, so very hard wearing. We have a USB connection, should we need to upload or download programs or HACCP data, which we can talk about in the future. So as you can see, two chambers. So we've got the doors simply open, one touch to open. Obviously we stand back in case there's a lot of amount of heat coming out, and then to close it, it's just so the intention is if your hands are full, it means you can just close the door. Yeah. So what we don't want to be doing is slamming it. As I said, it's just sort of, as you can see, a mild. Cleaning wise, so jumping on a little bit, the only thing manually that we'd want to do is just give the door seal a wipe and the drip tray a wipe on a daily basis. The rest of it is done by automatic cleaning, which is called wave clean. So to do a wave clean procedure, we just click on wave clean button, yeah, and we choose short, medium or intensive, which is 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours. So ideally you would always want to give it the 3 hours because it's going to give it a better go and it will still use the same cleaning cartridge. So when we're happy, we just tick yes. Okay, if the combi was hot, if you just finished using it, it would cool itself down and it would say cooling down, wait. When the message says insert cartridge, we would insert a cleaning cartridge and the cleaning cartridge would go upside down into the ring at the back. We close the door, press start, and that's the wave clean. You come in the next morning, potentially, or later that day. They can be cleaned overnight because they completely shut down after cleaning. And then what we would do then is simply when you turn the unit on, it would say take cartridge out. So what we do is just repeat. And what I would like you to do all the time is then push the little flap back in, just like so. So what it means is not getting bent. I'll show you that again, obviously. To put the cleaning cartridge in, take it out, close it. Okay, I'm going to push stop now because we're not going to clean at the minute. Your home button, and now we're going to look at very simply manual cooking. So we've got two formats to cook. We can either use manual cooking and we can use automatic cooking. So we'll start with manual cooking, and there's, as you can imagine, our three main functions of a combination oven. We have steaming, combi steaming and convection. So if we start with steaming, yeah, obviously we now got a different screen. We can steam at 100, yeah. We have to put something in this next box down. So tap on the box and we can either set a timer, 1 hour, 10 minutes for example. We can set it on constant, or we can use the probe. Okay, combi steaming, same thing. The preset here is 150. So if you did want to set it just like a phone, we can touch and slide. So let's say we wanted to cook at 170, tap in the box, 30 minutes and press start. Okay, now we have two options. We can let it fully preheat, which will do automatically. When it preheats, it will we're going to higher than the desired temperature because it's going to overcompensate for when you open the door and we load. So when it hits that temperature, it will give you an alarm and it will hold at that temperature. If you don't want to wait, or if you know roughly the temperature is what you require, all we do is say tick next, and as you can see, it starts automatically. Okay, and stop. And our third main function, of course, is convection. This time the preset's 180, and as you can imagine, it goes from 30 to 300. Timer's there again. And this time, we've got our humidity as well. We have humidity in combi, and in combi, obviously, we're adding humidity. In convection, whatever food's cooking in there generates humidity. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually take it out. So if we're cooking breakfast products, if we're cooking sausage and bacon, for example, we want them to look crisp and brown. So therefore, we would take this down to somewhere around 30%. So what 30% means is that 70% of the steam is being sucked out. So that's being sucked out and then self-condensed and goes down the drain. So that's effectively your browner or crisper. And again, what we do, we can set a timer, okay, and again, press start. Yeah. So we can either wait for the full preheat, or we can say, no, I'm ready, I'm happy, we tick, next. Okay, home, still on manual cooking, this time, so as I said, the major functions. Should we want to look at more advanced functions, we don't hide them away, but they're under here, so scroll up. And here we have things like plated regeneration. We have low temperature cooking. We have specific baking functions. We have Delta T. We have sous vide. And we also have resting and so on. These are the sort of functions that I work with chefs when on site, because they're a little bit more complex. The only really good one that I'll show you now is rack control, which is that one there. Now we can choose, so again, back to breakfast. I'm cooking my full breakfast. As you can see now, the screen's changed. So we can still operate it just like a normal combi. So we can say, I want it at, I'm cooking my bacon, sausages, hash browns. Because I want some colour on them, I'm gonna take out humidity, 20%, yeah, and press start. Then what it now enables us to do is we can set timers. So I know my bacon will take 12 minutes. My sausages are frozen, so they'll take 15 minutes. My hash browns will take 10 minutes, and my black pudding, white pudding may take 8 minutes. Then all we do is push start, 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 until we've got timers for each shelf. So we can carry on doing our mise en place, we can carry on doing everything else, and then obviously it will alarm and it will flash up which shelf is ready next. And that is a really good way of using the combi on a constant mode during service time, but at least using the feature of these. We can even use the probe. So potentially we could be cooking a piece of a loin of pork or something on in any of the shelves at the same time as other timers. So really useful feature. Stop. And again, it's either back or home. I've gone home, and there we go. So that's manual cooking. So automatic cooking is basically using programs. So Auto Chef, and basically we can work our way through there. So if we just make an example, if we go into poultry, chicken, so we've got everything. So these are quite popular. Even for a small combi, we could probably still get 2 or maybe even 3 levels of whole birds in there. So we can choose 2 programs, chicken marinated or seasoned. Marinated is probably a Nando style, where the skin is still quite soft and flabby. You normally then finish it on maybe on a char grill or something. Or we have a chicken seasoned, which is like a full rotisserie chicken. So we pick our bird. Let's go for small birds. And as you can see, that's an 8-step program, and it's very, very simple. We would just put the probe into one of the chickens and press start. And that's as easy as it is to use the processes. Okay, we can talk in the future about the processes, but as you can see, they're all front facing. And what I mean by that is you can change any of these features. So, for example, the final step in cooking a chicken, this chicken seasoned rotisserie style, is the probe hits 85. If you think that's a little bit over for you, we can just simply tap on it and change it. And then, so this time we're going to cook to 82. So that's chicken. We have similar processes for obviously all your meat categories, beef, pork, etc., as well as vegetables, for example, could be convenience products and potatoes, could be French fries, wedges, etc. They're very easy to save, and as I said, it's probably a next stage of training that we'll do when we do programming. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the MKN Space Combi. So if there's any other questions, anything at all, please contact the Broderick service team, and either they'll have the answer, or if not, I'm either a phone call away or I'll be able to come in and support you. My name's Stuart from MKN, and we're just going to talk through the MKN cook line that's here in this kitchen. So we're going to start at the very right. So this is the electric solid top. So historically there will be gas solid tops in kitchens. The electric one's obviously a lot cleaner. It's a lot easy to use, and it's just easy to clean. So essentially we've got a very simple on-off knob, on, off, and then we've got each zone. So on this we've got 2 zones, front and back. We have 1 to 8. So during operation times you may have the front zone on quite high, maybe 7 or 8, and the back zone might be on something like 3 or 4. So it's sort of using it like a traditional sort of stovetop. Okay, moving on to induction. So induction, it's not new technology, but obviously more and more kitchens are seeing induction now. So the purpose of induction is for fast cooking. Okay, so it's for pan work. It's traditionally not used for braising. Soups, fair enough, because they're quick, but if you want to do braising for hours, then that's where you would use the sort of larger pans. So these are for short, quick finishing work. So again, very simple. We have our on-off switch. The lights will now go off, and then if you look at the zones, so this is the zone here. So the light will come on, So we've got our front right pan on, and we've got 1 to 8 again. And as you can see, the heat is fairly instant. So a few do's and don'ts with induction. So the zone is for a purpose. We don't cook there and we don't cook there, we cook in there. And the pans also should only be covering the zone, and off it goes. Another big no-no with induction is never crossing 2 zones, maybe with a large char grill plate, because what you'll be doing then is you'll be creating a field between the 2 induction generators, which could do really, really serious damage and high service costs. So essentially, 1 pot, 1 zone. Cleaning is soapy water, as you'd imagine, nice and easy at the end of the day. Yeah, anything that spills over, if it's cream or milk, would simply bypass the controls and onto the floor. So it's a nice, easy cleaning at the end of the day. Soapy water. Should any carbon over the time build up, you might get a little bit of carbon building up, a little bit of brownness, and all we do is take that off with a very mild cream cleanser, something like a Hot Bright type product. Maintenance with induction is very simple. The only things you need to check is probably, I would suggest on a monthly basis, is if you reach underneath and you'll feel some filters. And they're very simple on magnets, so we just drop them down and have a look at the filter. As you can see, they're pearly white at the minute. Should they be going dusty grey, it's time to change them. And that's again when you speak to the Broderick service team. There's the magnets, so very simple. We find the hole again and pop them back in. And on this particular line, the final item is our fryer. So very simple. This is our two pan fryer. Again, we've got the MKN on and off knob, so we'll turn it on this occasion. And here's our thermostat. Yeah, very simple, 2 baskets, and very simple to operate. So what we do, for cleaning, we lift the element, and we have our cool zone tray, which obviously you will empty, and then clean the fryer with whatever cleaning products and standard operational procedures you would use. The one thing I would like to stress is, as you can see, this tray, although it looks reversible, isn't. So you can see the holes at the top, and it's slightly chamfered down towards the base. And that's the way it goes in, yeah? So should it not be working one day, the first thing to check is it's not been put in the right way. Because as you can see, it looks like it'll go down, but the elements aren't flat and it won't create the electronics for it, so it will not work. So as I said, very simple, hole at the back, chamfered towards the front, in it goes. So again, that's it for this cook line. Any problems at all, you please just get in touch with the Broderick service team and they'll be able to speak to me, or they'll probably have the answer themselves.